again. I missed this, but I was quite busy as I didn't expect to have so many patients back already. So I had a very busy schedule, so I couldn't record this for you. But now I'm back. I hope I will keep it like that for every week. Let's see how it goes. Well, I wanted to talk about something today, but I just came across to something, and sometimes I feel like I want to talk to you guys, not girls, regarding to how to behave like a man, but that's not my subject actually, because I do this for women, and because I like to see more women behaving like a woman outside. At the same time, I would like just to give an advice to guys not to become slaves. Yeah. Of course, it's a tough word. I'm not. I don't know how to explain it better. But try to have some confidence, some power, and don't ask for permission. Don't do whatever a woman wants you to do, not in spite of it, just that you need to have your own personality. Don't become, no matter how much you love a woman, don't become a slave. Don't behave like a slave, because women don't like slaves. Yeah, women love powerful men, confident men. Please remember that every time. I don't know, you make an exception and you want to make your woman happy, it's absolutely fine. Please don't become a slave. Yeah, don't ask your woman if you can go out. Don't ask a woman if you can go out with friends or do something around the house, whatever you want to do. If you want to watch a movie, if you want to watch a football game, whatever, don't ask for permission. Just let your woman know. Yeah, only if you don't have plans with her. It's nice, of course, that once in a while a guy to expect you home with dinner or lunch or something fancy, because he tried to spoil you in some way. Please do not make this habit. Yeah, because it's so important to keep a little bit of differences between women and men, and this is one of them. Usually women cook. Yeah, it's nice for a man to cook from time to time, but try not to make this a habit. Do not wait your wife with the dinner ready or lunch ready every single day because you feel like you have to, because she comes home later than you. Of course, it's a nice thing, to come home and your husband to prepare something for you. It's sweet and some magic, but when you do it all the time, you become a woman, and maybe you don't realize that, but slowly you become a woman. Okay, so try not to make a habit of cleaning the house or helping your woman with cooking. It's lovely if it happens once in a while. It is very sad if it happens all the time, to be honest. Don't ask for permission if you can go to bed, if you can go to watch a movie, whatever you want to do. If you didn't promise her anything with that time, please don't ask for permission. Just announce your partner you want to do something different or whatever you want to do or watch. And I will stop here with advices for men. I'm not doing it for men. I'm doing this also for women, because some of us tend to ask the guy we are with to participate on any activity that we do around the house. Otherwise, you feel like he doesn't respect you. You do all the job and everything, but please do not forget. A guy's job is to make money, yeah, to keep the family safe. Of course, he can fix stuff around the house, because that's a man thing. He can do some gardening, he can fix stuff, and I don't know, assemble stuff. You order, I don't know, furniture, whatever. That's his job, and he never asks you to help, if you notice that, yeah, because it's not your job as a woman. It's kind of the same thing. To not ask them to participate every time you make dinner, to not ask them to participate every time you clean the house. This is not mannish. You transform slowly your man in a woman, and you'll have a woman partner, yeah. Okay, and I'm done with that, yeah. That's all for men for today. Let's come back to how to behave like a lady. There was something that I wanted to tell you, also from my experience, positive and negative also. Be very, very careful how you behave when you go out, or you go out in society, even with friends, yeah. Do not ever spend too much time with a guy that doesn't belong to you. Do not take picture with him. Don't post it on social media if it's some other woman guy. If you are there invited, please behave like a lady, yeah. Try to not go between a man and a woman. They are trying to be together or not. It depends. Do not take pictures with him. Do not dance with him like he's the best friend you have, even if you know him for a few days. Do not do stuff like that. That puts the other woman in a very difficult position, but put yourself in a very ugly position. Yeah, that's something that it's very difficult to overcome. Yeah. So if you have this image in your friend's eyes, it will be very difficult to change that in their opinion about you. So you always be the one that doesn't behave like a lady. If she has a glass of wine or something, and she will behave like a easy woman, yeah. It's very important. Also, it's very important how you dress, how you gesticulate, how you talk, and everything. Be very careful when you are around friends that are not your man, yeah. Or even more difficult when you are with friends that are together and none of them is your guy. Stay away from that. Have fun. May fight with girls. Don't get in too much details with the guy. Do not pose yourself with him all the time. Do not touch him. Let him touch you in any way. This will create a very stupid and unfortunate tension between friends as women. A lady never behaved like that, yeah, and this is very, very difficult to overcome, because you'll never be able to delete that image of yourself from your friend's mind for a very long time. Well, that's one thing that I wanted to talk about, because I remember one situation like this. Your tone and gesticulation is very important in public. Try to be a little bit more confined, you know. observe more than be a part of it, listen more than talk. Yeah, even if you have one or two glasses of wine, try not to get drunk. It's very important. A drunk woman looks absolutely hideous. Um, Try to be aware, have fun, but don't ever forget to behave like a lady. Respect yourself and respect others, because respect comes back, you know. If you don't respect them, they probably never respect you again. And that's unfortunate. Maybe you don't try to do something wrong, maybe you don't intend anything wrong, but the way you use that information that night, the way you act and how you talk or what you're doing after is very important. So be very, very careful. Also, when you go out, try not to turn your head after car beeping. Yeah. Mostly, okay, if you go out to, you have something to do, so you go to a job or whatever you do, probably you dress accordingly. If you're not a company, if you don't have a company, try to be a little bit more careful with your with the way you dress. Try not to expose too much, yeah, because you put yourself in a very difficult situations, and then you'll say, oh, it's about the rest of the world, not me. No, it's, you have to be a little bit more careful. What I prefer to say is not to go to an event, not to go to a wedding, for example, or baptism or whatever, unaccompanied. Yeah, it's better to have a man with you. It doesn't matter if he's your partner, if he's a friend, a brother, your brother, or I don't know, somebody. It's better to go with somebody, a man especially. Only if you have somewhere to be or on the streets, whatever. But be very careful what you wear. Not that you could not dress how you want to. Yes, of course you do, but try not to exaggerate. Yeah. Exaggerate in your house, in your own garden. When you're away on a holiday, when you're away with your partner, also, it's better to be a little bit more. I don't know. I can't find the word right now. Try to watch what you're wearing. No showing too much skin. No wearing a little bit more than you need to be very explosive. Yeah. Only if you go to a party or there is a team or whatever. Try to be a little more careful what you wear on the street when you're walking around. Even if you are with your best friends, best lady friends, even then, it's better not to look like a slut, yeah? Do that on your own time with your own guy in your own home. Good. Like I said, I prefer to advise women to go to weddings or events like that, accompanied by a man. It's difficult to say, to explain why. It's just etiquette, yeah. I mean, a woman should be accompanied at such events mostly during the night. God. Also, about behaving in public, even if you are with your man, try to have everything explained. If you have something to explain and if you want something from him, try to have all this discussion at home, before and after. Try to not put your man in the situation where you become angry at him and you explain him in public what to do. Do never tell your man what to do in public ever. Yeah. And he has to be very careful about that, not to accept this type of behavior. A lady never puts her man in this situation. Yeah, you don't talk loud to a man. You're not angry with him in public. You don't explain him what to do in public, how to do it. Yeah, be very careful with that. You can't change that. You can't take that back. Yeah. So always watch your tone. What you have to say it in private. Yeah. It's also vice versa. Yeah, because the etiquette is that you don't deal with this type of problems in public. But even if you don't have a discussion, don't tell your man what to do in public. Don't tell him how to do it in public. Yeah. So let's say you're at a picnic or something. There are friends around and everybody, men, women, and he's doing something. Say, no, darling, please, I told you so many times, do not do it like they do it like this. And I'm always right. Why you're not listening to me? Blah blah. That's just stupid. Don't ever do that. Even if it's close friends, do not put your man in that situation. Do not ever tell him what to do in front of his friends, family, or whatever. If you are alone, that's your business. Yeah, it's the way your relationship is. It doesn't matter that much. Even then, it's not very nice to explain your man how to do it because you know best. There is another way of telling stuff and make fun of it and everything. But in public, it doesn't matter if it's friends, family, or whoever it is. Do not tell your man what to do and how to do it, please. That's not a lady. Yeah, that's a bossy girlfriend. And if you're bossy, and he accepts that, you transform him slowly in a girl, like I told you. You take the responsibility for the relationship, so you will guide, you will lead him. That doesn't make sense to me. Nobody is leading anybody, but a man has to be a man. He has to be powerful, confident. You just subminate his confidence. You never tell your guy what to do. If there is somebody around, even if it's family or your best friend, ever, you never tell your guy how to do something. Even if he does it wrong, who cares? Yeah, it's the most important thing, how you treat your partner in public. Okay. Also, even when you tell him and you try to explain him what to do, if he doesn't know, and you're just two of us, over you, try to be very, very, explain very clearly what you want from him. We are different. Women have different instincts. Women understand each other better. So if I tell a woman what I want from the fridge, what I want to do with that, and how I want her to participate with that, she will understand me differently because she's used to it, and we have same instincts: nurturing, feeding, cooking, cleaning. We know what we talk about. Do not expect from a man to understand what you tell him on the phone and you come home and it's not like you want it to be. Explain him very carefully, explain him very clearly. If you don't tell him exactly what you want, he will never understand you. He will be frustrated because he will never understand what he did wrong. You will be angry because the result is not what you wish for, and nobody's happy, and that's because you're stubborn. Yeah, because you imagine he has to feel you, he has to understand what you want from him. No, he doesn't have that instinct. Women do. They have different instincts. They are predators. If you tell him how to cook something, and if you come home and it's done wrong, that's not his fault, it's your fault. Yeah. um, First you ask him to cook something uh, by himself, so whatever the result is, you have to be happy because he's cooking for you. And second, you have to be extremely specific. Yeah. Even if you want him to I don't know, take something from the shop for you, you have to be very specific. Yeah, he won't know the difference between two type of rice or whatever. Okay, he will know when he's in the plate. Yeah, but if you send him shopping stuff like this, which you shouldn't, don't expect him to be right. Yeah, to know what you're talking about. If you expect that, he become angry. It's totally your fault. You didn't explain in full, or probably you shouldn't done that from the first time. Yeah, be very careful, even with little things. Don't expect that he will understand you perfectly, and you want him to read between the lines. Sometimes they don't. It's different. We're different. Explain him very, very clearly what you want from him. Otherwise, he will be frustrated, you'll be frustrated, and it's your fault. Yeah, you have to explain him exactly what you want from him to know what to expect. If you don't do that and you expect him to understand anyway, and he doesn't, it's your fault. Okay. There is another aspect that I would like to tell you about. It's also about being treating yourself like a lady. Yeah, respecting yourself. Be very careful about what you believe is a relationship, what he believes is a relationship. For example, if you talk with him online, or you ping pong messages, texting and everything along the months, that doesn't mean you're in a relationship with that guy. Yeah, a relationship means physical contact, and you have to see each other regularly to exist something like feelings or a relationship. If you're just texting once in a while or even every day, that's not a relationship. Yeah, that is just conversation. Be very careful about that. It's a big difference. Yeah, a guy that wants to be in a relationship with you and is in a relationship with you calls you and asks you out. Everything else is just conversation. Also, even if he asks you out, be very careful when he does that. If he does that on the last minute, when he has time, when he remembers, or he has nothing else to do, try not to be at his discretion, because it's very important what the guy does, not what the guy says. Yeah, if he's there when you have time, if he books your time in advance because you're that important to him, that he has to be sure you're free that day and he can have you, he can go out with you, that means he cares. If he doesn't understand that and calls you last minute, don't bother. It's not the man you want to have. Okay. Also, like I said, it's the most important what a guy does, not what a guy says. If he knows what kind of flowers do you like and send them to you without no reason at all, and stuff like that, it doesn't have to be, don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be expensive gesture. It has to be action. If he doesn't do anything, then just forget about him. It is not important what he says. Always watch what he does for him, what he does for you, what he does for the others. But if it's not action, that's not a relationship. You can just go and say next. Yeah, be very careful. You're not in a relationship if you don't have this feature in your day life. Yeah, I think it's quite late. I have a lot to tell you, to be honest. A lot of stuff that is don't or do's, but we don't have enough time, and I never have an agenda because I always wanted to talk to you freely. That's why I don't edit my videos. I don't intend to. I prefer to be just flowing. That's why it's a little bit difficult because I have to do them in English, and I'm used to talk about this subject mostly in Romanian, my original language. But I'm doing this for you, and because I would love to see more women behaving like women on the streets, wearing dresses and stuff like that, because this time, uh, actually in 2020, it's much more difficult to have a gender, like now. And I would love to see a little bit more difference between men and women. That would be very nice surprise. I will keep it a little bit more not private, but kind of I don't want to advertise it on Facebook, for example, right now, because on Facebook there are a lot of people watching me, and I'm not talking about friends, and I'm not ready yet to make this public. That's why I prefer to have just a few visitors, but I would love to actually practice something from what I'm trying to say. When I will be ready, I will just advertise it on Facebook and everywhere else. For the moment, I prefer not to do that, even if I have just a few visitors. I will do it for you, and we'll see you next time, probably next week, hopefully. And please don't forget, wear a drop of your favorite perfume everywhere, even if you're alone at home.